How's it going, YouTube? This is Wi-Fi Memory here today, bringing you guys some more VGC 2021 action. Today we are rocking out with our December team of Xurkitree, Whimsicott, Dracovish, Tapu, Fini, Rotom, and Glastrier. I will have a rental code at the very end of this video, so stay tuned to the very end because you'll want to get that rental code. Something about this series, we are doing interactive team building, and we're letting December kind of be like our trial run for that. And so far, I think everything's going like super well with it. We've got ourselves a really nice team, very hyper offensive for our first interactive team building. If you guys are interested in participating in the interactive team building, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and what you guys do is leave comments down below and like answer like the question of the day, or if you just want to make a change to the team or any way, form, whatever, just put the comment down there and I'll look at it, and if I think it's a good idea, we'll rock out with it. I guess the question of the day is, for this video, which one would you prefer, Taunt or Trick Room onto our Whimsicott? The reason we have Trick Room on our Whimsicott so far is to counter Hatterene and DD play, because they like to set up that Trick Room, and if we can go for Trick Room, we're able to be in a very good board position, you know? And that's the only way to really stop Trick Room against Hatterene and DD. But I noticed against a lot of other teams, you actually kind of want Taunt. And so that's the question of the day for this video, Taunt or Trick Room. We're rocking out with the Trick Room on our Whimsicott, but that's that, you know. But yeah, enjoy this massive showcasing that Xurkitree does put on in this video. Max Lightning into a protecting Tapu Fini. We do half damage. Yeah, I know it's super effective and all, but I mean, what other mon does half damage to a protecting Tapu Fini? The reason we went for protect with our Whimsicott here was because the Incineroar tends to go for fake out, so that was a really nice dodge. We go for Tailwind with our Whimsicott next turn, and we go for Max Lightning and is able to one-shot the Incineroar, which is fantastic. Now, observing what I have in the back, I have Fini and I have a Rotom. So I know that his Tapu Fini could definitely be a threat. So I went ahead my next turn, and we went ahead and Max Lightning into the Fini. It does take it out. We're kind of in that communication time right now, but he's about to send out his Kartana, which is right here. Yeah, I had the option to go for a Max Lightning into the Kartana, which could have probably knocked it out, but that would have been incorrect targeting, because we do have a Rotom-Heat in the back that is his main job is to deal with Kartana. So yeah, I felt like Kartana definitely isn't a threat. I'm not even too worried if Kartana gets a KO on our Xurkitree so much. I needed to break the Focus Sash if it's a potential Focus Sash. That's why we went for Moonblast there. But Max Lightning, so we take out the Tapu Fini. Honestly, if we went for Max Lightning onto the Kartana, I have a huge feeling that it probably would have KO'd. So, hey, it is what it is. I believe he goes for Max Overgrowth into our Xurkitree. We take it like a champ, you know. That's like a champ for Xurkitree, guys. Come on now. Xurkitree is known to be kind of frail. This one actually has a lot of bulk investment. If you guys are interested in seeing how much bulk investment we have, just go in the description down below and you'll get to see all of our EV spreads of our team so far, all of our moves and everything. So check everything out. But yeah, he brings up the Metagross. I figured Metagross was more of a threat than Kartana was. So we doubled into the Metagross, and he went for Protect, so that kind of stunk a little bit. I was so tempted to go for Thunderbolt into Kartana, but going into Kartana was just such an incorrect option at that point in time because of who we have in the back. I mean, really and truthfully, Metagross isn't necessarily a threat either, because we having Rotom, we'd just be able to one-shot him pretty much. In fact, that Moonblast did quite a bit of it will be doing quite a bit of damage. You'll see in the next turn when we go for Moonblast. It does quite a bit of damage to Metagross. So it makes me really think that he's a full-on offensive Metagross here. Yeah, right here's a Moonblast. And that does nice damage for a resisted hit. Most of the time I was expecting that to be a crit, and it wasn't, so definitely a very offensive Metagross. But yeah, we're able to take him out. No problem. And now it's just Kartana versus the world, and the world is Rotom-Heat. I think we got it sealed up for this game. He goes for Max Steel Spike, knocks out our Whimsicott. That's fine, because he can keep raising that defense all he wants. Rotom-Heat doesn't really care because he's a special attacker. I think this was his last turn of Dynamax, to tell you the honest truth. Tapu Fini happens to be our last one. So, I mean, in case of Kartana actually wants to go into our Tapu Fini, we went ahead and went for Protect with our Tapu Fini. I believe he is undynamaxing this turn. Yeah, he is. So yeah, he's undynamaxed. And I mean, there's no way he's taking a overheat from even a -2 Rotom. Rotom is just too good. If he was a potential Focus Sash, he doesn't have it activated thanks to our Whimsicott going for that little chip Moonblast damage. So Whimsicott really played well in this game. He goes for Sacred Sword, and okay, I thought that there for a second that was going to be a crit, but it's not. We still take him out though. Anyway, guys, that's game number 1. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 2. Jumping into game number 2, we have we're going up against Big Worm over here with Amoonguss, Torkoal, Tyranitar, Lapras, Dusclops, and Marowak. I really like this game because it really showcases how good of a board position we got in, and we were able to really do a lot of work with Dracovish in the late game. His team is super weak to Dracovish, but we go ahead and lead Xurkitree, and we do know he has that Marowak. Marowak is more than likely going to be Lightning Rod, and that's okay. I want to show you how much that we're still able to put so much pressure onto this Lapras, just because we do have a really good electric type. Turn 1 goes out, and we both go ahead and Dynamax our Xurkitree and our Lapras respectively. He does have Dusclops on the field, and I have Whimsicott, and I make a really this is why the question of the day was formed. Okay, so I thought Dusclops is going to be going for Trick Room, so I thought, okay, so I can just go ahead and reverse it. But I guess he had different ideas on his mind or something. I guess he didn't necessarily think he needed to set Trick Room up turn 1. Instead, he goes ahead and ally switches, which is probably a smarter play. And I did not see that. I didn't see that option at all. If I would have taunted, one, that ally switch probably it wouldn't have gotten off, right? I'm not too for sure if ally switch goes before taunt, but a prankster taunt, that is. But either way, we potentially missed out on the KO onto that Lapras, and we're setting up Trick Room, which helps our opponent because his team is actually a more Trick Roomy team than what our team is. But I mean, did you see that Max Lightning onto that Dusclops? So that did quite a bit of damage to Dusclops. So I'm just saying, But yeah, Trick Room is definitely getting set up. And that's why the question of the day was formed. So, be honest, answer it however you guys would. You know, would you prefer Trick Room or would you guys prefer Taunt? He switches into Marowak, which is a very smart switch in. Because I go in for Max Lightning. He obviously has the Lightning Rod. That's almost, you can almost assume that at this point. Most people have a Lightning Rod Marowak. But yeah, reverse Trick Room. So Whimsicott, the first 2 turns has literally done nothing. He goes ahead and switches his Marowak out in favor of Trianitar. We're finally able to get a Moonblast off into the Trianitar, which we weren't predicting. We were just trying to get some little chip damage onto the Marowak. Again, in case of it happened to be Focus Sash. And then we go for a Max Overgrowth into the Lapras. Lapras takes it pretty decently, but now we get the terrain boost and Whimsicott goes down. That's probably the best time to see Whimsicott go down, because now we can go into our Dracovish and put massive pressure onto our opponent. Massive pressure. Now he does have a Lapras. Lapras does have a move called Freeze Drive, but I don't necessarily think this Lapras has it. Just because he gets into a board position at one point or another where he could have went for Freeze Drive and he doesn't go for it. So I just don't think he has it. But that's okay. That's fine. He goes ahead and switches Lapras out. I believe he actually protects the Trianitar. He brings out Dusclops, and I went for Energy Ball into that Lapras slot, and we're actually able to pick up the KO onto Dusclops here. Just showing you kind of some raw power of Xurkitree. We're in glassy terrain, and we're able to still get some big KOs. That's a pretty impressive damage to me, you know, because of how bulky Dusclops is usually known to be, and us just getting a beast boost off of him is pretty nice. So now we're in a very good spot. I believe he goes into Marowak. Yeah, he goes into Marowak here, and I make a interesting play. Instead of going Vicious Rending into the Trianitar, I went ahead and Vicious Rend into the Marowak slot, switching our Xurkitree out for Glastrier, and Vicious Rending into the Marowak slot, predicting the Trianitar to switch out. Because, I mean, he's seen that we went after it last turn, you know, so make me kind of think that that might be Water Absorb. He's trying to force me to hit him with that Water type move, and I just won't do it. Which is fantastic. Now we're in a really nice little board position. Yes, he has the Lapras in, but like I said, I mean, right here's the turns where I kind of figured that he doesn't have Freeze Dry, because he actually, I believe, goes Hydro Pump into Glastrier, which Glastrier is not necessarily the threat at the moment. Not mine anyway. Trianitar comes back out. I can just go for a Vicious Rend into that, get the KO, and then I go for a close combat into the Lapras, and it does really good damage. Almost knocks it out. So, fearing that the Lapras is Water Absorb after he misses his Hydro Pump, I went ahead and switched our Dracovish out, and I believe it was, who do I have in the back? Do I have Fini? I may have Fini in the back. But either way, we're going to be getting a close combat off, so we're able to get the win. But just in case, because we're stuck with the Vicious Rend, in case if it's Water Absorb and Dracovish is moving first, I just didn't want to, mess with anything. Oh, we had Xurkitree in the back. What am I thinking? But anyway, he canceled the battle. So good game to my opponent. Guys, if you guys did enjoy, go go ahead, let me know in the comments down below. Let me get that rental code for you guys.